Hello, carpet cleaners and restoration companies. This is Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing and carpetcleaningwebsites.net. For the past 5 years, we've been helping cleaning and restoration companies get new business and bringing in more leads, more phone calls. In this very important video, I'm going to go over a specific process and checklist for getting 2, 3, or even 10 times more business from your current website. Now, we've completed over 400 cleaning and restoration websites over the years, and we've tested lots of different variables to see what really works, what really gets the phone to ring. And I want to mention that carpet cleaners and restoration guys are some of the most down-to-earth, hardest working people that I have ever met. But there are some shady characters out there. So if you're a bait and switcher, or if you're looking for some kind of get-rich-quick type of program, then please turn this video off. This is not for you. But if you are a hard worker and you are honest and you're proud of what you do, then you're going to love this information here. Now, you see, most carpet cleaners and web designers, for that matter, really have no idea what works when it comes to web design. Okay, they've got lots of ideas, lots of opinions, but at the end of the day, they don't really have any hard data to back that up. So no matter how cool your website is, no matter how many people you impress with your website, no matter how many little bells and whistles you have, at the end of the day, all that really matters is this question. Is your website getting the most calls possible? Okay? If it's not, then it's kind of a waste. Okay? All that extra stuff is kind of just a waste. And I'm as guilty as any carpet cleaner or web designer out there. When I first started my cleaning business, my whole goal was to have the coolest website in town and just impress people. Okay? But over the years, I've kind of changed my focus. Now, don't get me wrong. I think our websites that we design are very cool, but my focus has been primarily on function over form, meaning I want these websites to generate the most calls possible. I want it to just perform, period. Okay, that's where I'm coming from these days when it comes to the web design side of things. Okay, now think about this. If you took all the data over the years that we have from working with hundreds of different cleaning clients, and you were to figure out all of this stuff on your own, it would take you years to do that. Okay, to come up with the same conclusions that we've come up with. So congratulations on finding this video. Go ahead and download the cheat sheet below, and let's get to work. Okay, like I said, this is a specific short cheat sheet that you can use to get business quickly. And the bottom line is that there's a specific formula to hit certain psychological triggers that get people to take action. Now, this is really simple stuff. Depending on your setup, you can do all this stuff by yourself, or you can have your web designer do this for you. You should be able to make the changes quick and easy. If you need us to do this stuff for you, I have a special offer for you at the end of this video. But the whole goal here is to go from a boring brochure-style website to a phone call, money-gathering engine that pre-sells your services before you even talk to the person. Okay? You see, guys, when people come to your site, they already have their finger hovering over the mouse button, ready to click that back button. If you don't engage them and make them feel like they've come to the right place within just a few seconds, they're gone, never to return. So we really need a way to build instant credibility. Now, the download that you have in front of you, you can print that out if you want to and then follow along. That might be the best way to do this. So if you can check it out as we go along, that way you can pause the video. If you need to check something, you can rewind it a little bit and go back over something. So it's a good idea to just go ahead and print that out right now if you just want to pause and go ahead and do that. Now, I know that there is a bunch of stuff on this, and that is because it is a one-page blueprint that has everything you need to launch a high-converting website. Now, you don't have to include everything on here right away, but the more that you do, the better your results will be. And there's three main things that we need to consider. The first thing we need to consider is your website clear and usable? Meaning, is it obvious what you do? Can they easily and quickly find what they're looking for without scrolling and searching all over the place? And then the second thing is, are you establishing trust? What if you took your existing visitors and then doubled or tripled the number of them that actually called? What would that do for your business? I'll show you how in this video. Okay, and then the third thing is that websites need traffic. So we need to rank high on the search engines, mainly Google. You probably know this is called SEO, or search engine optimization. SEO is a huge beast, and we will only cover the on-site stuff during this video, meaning just stuff that you do to the website itself. The other part includes things like building backlinks and directories and social media. And all of that stuff, that's for a different video that I will give you access to as well. But just in this video, I want you to cover your bases, okay? Okay, so when we put usability and we put trust and we put traffic, we put that all together, the results are really exponential. You'll see exponential growth in the number of phone calls you get, the number of jobs you book, and the amount of money that you make. And then we'll also cover some must-have tools and some optional tools to make your website the best that it can possibly be. So let's dig right in. Okay, so bottom line, if someone lands on your site, you have to engage them in a way that speaks to their needs and problems in a very clear way. Whether it is a pet that just peed on the carpet or a water line that just broke and they need emergency water cleanup, you have to let them know that they came to the right place. If your site is cluttered or complicated, they will not have that feeling. That's basically called bad user experience. Now, how do we solve this? Okay, in our testing, simple is best. So a clear logo or business name, or if your logo or business name does not clearly explain what you guys do, then you need to have a slogan to go along with it. An example, and this needs to be very clear and simple. Don't get too clever at this point. It just needs to be something simple like top-rated carpet cleaner in Missoula, Montana, or 24-hour emergency water damage in Los Angeles. Something simple and to the point like that. Like I said, you just have a couple seconds to let them know what you're all about, okay? Don't make them guess. If you try to be too clever with your slogan, then they get this feeling of confusion and not being certain of what it is that you actually do. So make it simple and obvious. If you want to get clever, then there's lots of different things you can do when we get to the trust elements. But for now, let's keep it simple. All right? The next thing we need is a big, bold phone number at the top of every page. No scrolling or clicking to find your phone number. If you stand 10 feet away from your computer, that phone number should pop out. So it needs, like I said, it needs to be very bold and it needs to contrast with everything else on the screen. Remember, at the end of the day, we want phone calls. We don't want people to be impressed with our website. All right? Now, along with the phone number should be a call to action. And once again, keep this simple. So, for example, call now, and then the phone number. Or my favorite one is free estimate, call now. So most guys think, well, I don't know if that's really important or really necessary to do that, because if my phone number is on the site, they know what to do. I don't need to tell them to actually call me. Wrong. My experience and the data from numerous marketing studies shows that this one little tweak can double or triple phone calls. And this goes for all marketing, not just your website. It includes business cards, it includes van wraps, it includes postcard mailouts, billboards, etc. Okay? Remember, the psychological triggers, that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to trying to access those psychological triggers to get people to call you, and the simple things can make a big difference. All right, so the next thing to talk about is navigation. Since the first websites started popping up on the internet, people have been trained to look for horizontal menu bars to quickly find the information that they want. Now, many people try to do all kinds of variations, and although some of the stuff looks very cool with vertical navigation or stuff that's in like a circle or goes sideways across the page, testing shows that when you do all that kind of stuff, even the stuff that wins awards, that conversions go down. So so once again, you want to have a simple horizontal navigation bar, and let's talk about the main things that you want to have actually in that menu or in that navigation bar. Besides the home page, there are three crucial things that you want to have. Number one, you want to answer the question, who are you? People come to your website, who is this person? Who is this company? I want to know more. So you want to have an About Us page, and you want that to be right next to the home page, okay? And then you want to have, and then the next question they have is like, well, what all do you do? And this is where you want to put your services page. And in that service, you can have a drop down with all your different services. So carpet cleaning, water damage restoration, mold removal, upholstery cleaning, tile cleaning, etc. But you want to have, the services page up in the navigation next to the About Us, okay? And then the third big question that people have is, how can I trust you? All right? And so the next page you want to have is a testimonials page or a customer reviews page. And then everything else that you have up in this menu is just kind of bonus stuff, like the FAQ, the cleaning tips, all that kind of stuff. It's not essential to getting calls, and it's not bad stuff to have, but it's not crucial. It's not as crucial as the home, About Us, services, and testimonial. Okay. So after we have that taken care of, we want to make sure that the site is mobile friendly. You see here in this Google search report in the US, how many people, like the percentage of people, and this is coming straight from Google, this is not my opinion, and this is not for every industry out there, but you can see for carpet cleaning and water damage, how many people actually, what percentage of people are actually searching using a phone as opposed to a tablet or desktop computer. So what this means is that your site must either be responsive or it needs to redirect to a separate mobile website. Either one is fine, okay? And if you don't do this, your conversions will most likely drop. And so will your rankings. Google now actually penalizes sites that are not mobile. We've seen sites drop 10 spots or more. So it's very important for both usability and SEO. When we get to the SEO section, I'll revisit this topic. All right. So finally, the final thing is, and this can be optional, but if you're able to check your email several times a day from like a smartphone, let's say, it's a good idea to have a contact form on every page of your website. But keep it simple, 5 or 6 fields max. And the reason is that some people are not ready to make a decision. They're kind of in research mode. They're not ready to pick up the phone. They feel more comfortable reaching out with the form instead. Or another possibility is it's late at night and they know that they shouldn't be calling you late at 11 o'clock at night, but they want to make some sort of effort, so they'll just submit that form. And then another possibility is maybe they work in an office where they're not allowed to make personal calls, but they still want to reach out, so they'll submit the form in that situation as well. Now, when I had my carpet cleaning business and from talking to a lot of my clients, finding that about 10% of serious buyers will use that form instead of picking up the phone call. So it can add up to some good returns, over like a year period. So although I'm saying it is optional, it can still be very profitable in the big picture. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about trust. This is probably the most important part of this video. We're going to be talking about trust elements. The reason it's so important is because think about it. In this type of business, we're actually coming into people's, private space. We're coming into their homes. We're coming into their business. They really, even though they don't express this when they're talking to you, because most people will just want to talk about price, but in the back of their mind, what they're really worried about, even more than price, is can I trust this person? So let's talk about why most visitors will bounce from your website. Now there may be several reasons, okay? So most websites out there are just brochure style sites. They're static, they're flat with brochure information that's all about you, okay? Another reason is they have poorly designed themes, a poor user experience, which we just discussed in the last section. They use all stock pictures, lots of menus, links, and no focus, no direction. You have to eliminate options and reduce confusion. You have to tell them what to do, which in our case is to pick up the phone. Most sites fail to convey authority and trust, and like I said, you only have 3 seconds to do that. But you're in luck, because I'm going to show you how to separate yourself from the pack and solve all of these problems. Our goal here is that you want to give them a good feeling by personally greeting them, and at the same time establish trust and authority and show them a clear path to answers. You want to also prove that other people that are just like them, the same type of person, you want to prove that they are satisfied and happy working with you. And like I said, you need to do this all within a few seconds. And then once you do that, watch the results. It's really amazing when you do all this stuff. Okay, so the first thing is the most important. Even though I tell my clients this over and over to do this, most guys just won't do it. So if you're going to be one of the brave ones, you will separate yourself and have a huge advantage, I promise you. And it's so simple. All you do is you put a quality picture of you with a smile onto the home page. And it doesn't have to be just you. It can be you and your family, you and your crew, you and your dog. And then next to that picture, in quotes, you want to give a short but heartfelt message from the owner. Like I said, you have to personally greet them. This is a must. This is very important. Now, it's interesting that whenever I have a one-on-one consultation with a potential client, I like to start asking about their business. And most guys and gals will have an amazing, genuine story as to why their business really shines. And I love hearing that. Owning any kind of business that supports you and your family is a huge accomplishment. And I love to hear this because, but when you go to their website, it's just flat and there's nothing personal. Quality clients, not just the bottom feeders or the price shoppers out there, but I'm talking about quality clients and customers. They want to connect with someone that is going to be coming into their home or business. A smiling face and a warm message will do this. And if you want to go even farther, you can just make a personalized demo video. It doesn't have to be anything super professional. Just make sure you have good lighting and good sound and that you're the one telling your story and showing your process. Okay? And so why do most guys not do this? I keep hearing the same thing over and over. It's well, I don't want to put my ugly face on there, or I'm too old. And I need to say this. I need to say, me personally, when I first did this, I was really hesitant. I'm a short guy. I'm 5'6". I'm kind of chubby. I'm balding, and I hate to hear my own voice on a recording. I absolutely hate it. But I can tell you that doing this for my own business, both my cleaning and my marketing business, having that video or that picture with me smiling, it makes all the difference. And all that other stuff doesn't matter. Okay? Another thing that I hear from guys is that they don't want people to know that they're a small operation. They want to compete head-to-head with big franchises like Stanley Steamer or Serve Pro. And my response to that is, if that is your goal, then you're also going to have to spend money like those guys, like the big boys. That means you're going to have to do TV, you're going to have to do radio, you're going to have to do mass mail-outs, etc. If you're a one-man show or even a 2 or 3 truck operation, be proud of that. Quality clients want to work with people like you. And that'll never change. That's never going to change in this industry. There's always going to be people that want that personal attention. Quality clients don't want the underpaid employee from the big franchises that they know that person's just showing up for a paycheck. Okay? And if they do want to work with the big brands, then they're going to call one of the big brands. They're not going to call someone that looks like a big brand that they've never heard of before. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that kind of will change your mind when it comes to this whole personalization of the website. And this stuff will not only gain trust and beat out the franchises, but it's also the best way to beat out the bait and switchers. And if that's not enough, it'll help you even charge more for your services. It'll help you weed out the bottom of the barrel clients that only care about the cheapest prices. No honest carpet cleaner out there should be charging dirt cheap prices for their services. We work way too hard to play that game. All right, okay, so enough soapboxing. You get the idea. You need to make it personal. You need to make a connection. And it is an instant trust, an instant phone call magnet, I promise. I've tested it over and over in both of my businesses. Okay, so moving on. Now, I'm sure you've heard of having reviews, and testimonials are great, and having them on a dedicated page is a must, like we discussed. But you also want to have one short testimonial on your home page from someone that fits the profile of your target customer. So typically that'll be a female with children and pets. If you can put their picture next to the testimonial, expect to get double the results, and if you have a video testimonial, expect triple the results or even more. Okay, just like I was talking about with having your picture on there, if you have the picture of a person leaving a testimonial, it works that much better. All right. Now, the last 2 trust elements that I want to discuss here are easy ones. They're called trust icons or badges, and then I also want to trust having a guarantee. Okay, so examples of these trust icons include like an IICRC certification, any association memberships, your local chamber of commerce, or anything that really looks official. Even though people have no idea what it is, what it does is it once again, keep going back to this, it's all about the psychological trigger. It gives you instant trust and authority. You're not just a guy with a truck and a cell phone, but you're a pro, and right here on your website you have the proof. Okay? That's what happens subconsciously when people come to your website and they see these trust icons. And then the guarantee goes right along with that. I know that some guys will have a whole page dedicated to their complicated guarantee policy. I think that's overkill. I think just a simple 100% satisfaction guarantee saying that you stand by your work is great. And most guys out there are not doing that. And it's so simple, so easy to do. Even if they have a guarantee, they don't say it on the home page of their website. So, very important. So, let's recap. We have a personal greeting, we have a targeted testimonial, and then we have trust icons. Now, this trifecta is powerful, so let's use it. Okay, now let's talk SEO. SEO is the closest thing to automatic marketing that exists, okay? Because if you rank high for certain searches, your phone will ring, and ring a lot. I know this firsthand with my own carpet cleaning business, because during the busy season, during the summertime, I was getting 3 to 5 calls a day, and Brian, who I just sold the business to last year, he said the same thing. He bounces up between spot number 1 and 2 for carpet cleaning Missoula, and he said the same thing, 3 to 5 calls a day during the summer. Now in the winter time, of course, it's the slow season, so it goes down significantly, maybe 3 to 5 calls per week. But that being said, it's still, like I said, the closest thing to automatic marketing that you're ever going to find. And that's what most people want. They just want their phone to ring automatically. They don't want to have to constantly be doing a lot of stuff. So, we have over 100 happy clients that can attest for this as well. One client in a small, mid-sized town in Colorado says his restoration site brings in at least $10,000 worth of new business each and every month. And that's, like I said, that's a smaller town. So imagine in a big city what kind of revenue you can start bringing in. Now, that being said, SEO should not be your only marketing, but rather be part of your whole marketing picture. You should still be working on reminder cards. You should still have a referral program. You should do face-to-face networking, because you just never know when Google's going to make a change, and you don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket. But once again, like I said, if you rank high, life is good. So the first thing you need to take care of with SEO is keywords. Now, a keyword simply means a word or phrase that someone types into Google to find you. These keywords need to be placed on your website so Google knows what to rank you for. Examples of this would be like carpet cleaning Missoula, or another example would be like water damage Indianapolis. So you need to make sure that these keywords are located in your meta title, which is sometimes referred to as title tags. These are specific places on your website. As you can see in this website here, when you hover your mouse over the little tab at the top of your browser, you will see exactly what the title tag is for any given page on the internet. In WordPress, you typically want to place this within the page edit screen. If you're using other platforms other than WordPress, then you'll need to search around and find the meta title section or the title tag section. And I have a very important tip that's going to help you guys out when you're deciding which keywords to use. You always want to put the service before the city. Okay? So, for example, you want to put in carpet cleaning Missoula. You don't want to put in Missoula carpet cleaning, because about twice as many people search by putting the service first before the city. So that's an important tip, and it can bring you a lot more business just by focusing on that one simple switch. And make sure you do this for all your service pages, not just your home page. So examples would be like carpet cleaning Missoula, water damage Indianapolis, upholstery cleaning Missoula, mold removal Kansas City, tile and grout cleaning Oklahoma City, for example. The point is, you want to be able to put a separate keyword on each page, because you can rank your pages separately, not just your home page. A lot of people don't even realize that. And that brings up another point. Each one of your services should be on its own separate page. You should not just list them all together on the home page or on a separate services page. They need to each have their own page with their own unique content. Another note is that if you're trying to rank in multiple cities, which I know a lot of people are in what I like to call patchwork areas, where it's kind of a bunch of smaller towns that make up one big metro area. If that's the case, it's best to just list all the cities in the footer of your website so that they show up on every single page. Your main city, however, the city that you're physically located in, and that's very important with Google, the one that you have your physical address with, that one is the one that will appear up in the title tags section as opposed to the footer. All right. So that brings us to the next important SEO element that we're talking about here, and that is unique content, meaning the text or the words that's on your website. Now, is your content fresh? Did you write it yourself, or did you hire someone to write that specifically for you? If you think that it's unique, don't be so sure. You must run every single page of your site that you want to rank at least through a free service called copyscape.com. Now, if it shows more than 125 words on any single page that are duplicate, meaning that those words were copied and pasted from somewhere else, and Copyscape will tell you this, it could be hurting your rankings if you have duplicate content on your website. I find that what happens is a lot of guys will copy and paste something from another website and then just make a few changes and then assume that that's unique content. Most likely it's not. It needs to be changed significantly, and you don't want to chance this. You want to run it through copyscape.com. Like I said, it is free. And if you don't do this, you could be hurting yourself. All right. Now, what do you do if you see duplicate content on your site? What we do for our clients is if we run everything through Copyscape before we even start on SEO, and if we see a page that does not pass Copyscape, what we'll do is we'll hire a writer to either redo that until it does pass Copyscape, or we'll have them write some completely fresh new content, run it through Copyscape, and if it passes, we put it on the website. But like I said, we want to make sure that every page that has a chance to rank, like service pages, for example, and the home page, of course, then we want to make sure that that is 100% unique content. Very important. Now, what happens if you run this through, you know you've done all your own content, but you see that somebody else has copied your content, and that could be hurting your site? What do you do in that case? So if you do see that happen, what you can do is, first of all, you need to contact that person either by email or by phone call and give them a cease and desist order saying, that's my content, that's copyrighted, please take it off your site as soon as possible. If they do not comply, you can actually approach their hosting company. That's public information of which which hosts are hosting different websites. So you want to gather that information, contact the host company, and by law they have to warn their client, the one that copied your stuff, that it's same thing, cease and desist. If they don't take it down within a certain period, then they can actually have their whole website completely shut down by the host. And this happens, and the host has to comply legally. So those are your options right there. We usually, instead of fighting and trying to get everybody to take content down, like I said, we just rewrite it and put better content onto our own website and move forward. Just faster, easier, but that's what you do. Moving on. Okay, so we already spoke about your site being mobile friendly for usability reasons, but like I said, it's also crucial for SEO. Since Google's big mobile update, I've seen sites drop 10 spots or more simply because they're just not mobile ready. And just like with unique content, don't assume just because you like the way your website looks on a phone that Google thinks it's mobile ready, okay? You have to run it through Google's mobile testing tool. And it's very easy, it's free, it's quick. All you do is go to Google, type in mobile testing tool, and click on the first result that comes up, put your website in there, and Google will tell you if you pass or not. And if you do, you're good, don't worry about it. If not, you need to get your site mobile ready. Talk to your web designer, talk to the platform, the people who run your platform, or if you want to purchase a mobile website from us, that is fine as well. The last thing I want to mention is having links that go from your website out to your social media pages. You don't need to get carried away here. I know there's hundreds of different social sites out there, but you want to get the big ones, the ones that Google actually looks at. So Google Plus, obviously, you want to have a link going out to your Google Plus page, whether it's a little graphic or a word or whatever, it doesn't matter as long as you have that connection, showing Google that you do have that connection going on. Also, your Facebook business page is important. If you have a Twitter account, go ahead and link to your Twitter. Not necessary. Most carpet cleaners don't use Twitter, so that's not crucial. But if you do, that is a big one that Google does look at. You should have a Yelp account, however, so I would definitely link out to your Yelp page, even though a lot of people don't like Yelp. If you have an Angie's List, go ahead and link out to your Angie's List page. A lot of people don't, no problem. But at least get Google, Facebook, and Yelp all taken care of. The Twitter and Angie's List, optional. Okay. And so, like I said, what you're trying to do by doing that is you're trying to show Google that you have other properties on the internet other than just your website. Gives you a little bit more trust with Google, which is important. And it is something you can do to your website. It's not something you have to do anywhere else on the internet. Okay, so that's it for on-site SEO. And like I said before, SEO is a huge beast. It's not, and this stuff that I gave you is just the beginning. It's the essential stuff that you have to have taken care of first. And if you're in a non-competitive area, just doing that stuff right there will probably get you ranked over time. The rest of the stuff is off-site, meaning stuff that you do in other parts of the internet, mainly getting links and citations back to your website. Don't worry about that at this point. That is for another video that you will have access to. Okay, so now we've addressed the major things you can do to make your website really work for you. But now let's talk tools. We want to get the most bang for your buck, and I'm going to give you the tools that I use that I find work the best for the lowest cost. Most of these are free. So first off, we have WordPress. Now, there are a million different website platforms you can use to build your site on, but WordPress is free. It is the best choice for small business for several reasons. Number one, because it's free. Number two, it's the most widely used. 30% of all the websites on the internet are now WordPress. This means lots of options, lots of flexibility, lots of support, and of course Google loves WordPress sites. So it's really a no-brainer. Now, to set WordPress up correctly, you will need to consult with your hosting company. If you use our service, of course, we will handle all of that for you. More on that in just a minute. Once WordPress is installed, then you'll need to install a theme, a WordPress theme. This will give your website a particular look and feel and functionality. And there are thousands of free themes to choose from, but most will be very rigid and unflexible, so you're not going to be able to do a lot of customization. You're going to have to work within whatever that theme offers. Now, if you want full flexibility and functionality, you're going to need a framework type theme. The one that I use is called the Genesis Framework, and then I also include what's called the Dynamic Website Builder to give me even more flexibility. The total cost for both Genesis and Dynamic are around $140 per website, but I find that it's well worth the money. And this is what most professional web designers, like WordPress web designers, will use. There is, of course, a learning curve when you're working with something this robust, but there's plenty of training videos and support forums out there to get you going on this. And I want to quickly address the different styles of websites out there. Now, traditionally, we have always used like a fixed width style site where everything is kind of, the size is just fixed. But the new trend is to have these big, wide, fluid style websites that take up the whole screen, and they stretch and contract as the screen size changes. We do both of these types of designs for our clients, and as long as they contain the elements that we've already discussed, you should be fine. But like I said, don't get caught up in making your website look really cool. That's not going to benefit you as far as getting more business. So whichever style you decide to choose, just make sure you have all the elements that we've discussed. Make sure you have all of those taken care of. And remember, just because it looks cool and modern doesn't really have any effect on how well it's going to get the phone to ring. So focus on what really matters. Okay, so the next tool that we need to consider is hosting. Now, you must have hosting for any website you own. And all hosting is basically a space that you rent on an internet server so that your site can go live and be seen by the world. And just like carpet cleaning companies, not all hosting companies are created equal. Cheap hosting companies that cost around $5 a month will have several drawbacks, being slow load speed, takes a while for them to load up. They'll have some frequent downtime, they just won't show up sometimes. And you'll have to do all of your own maintenance, meaning you'll have to do your own backups. You'll have to do your own WordPress updates and your own security updates. What I recommend, what you really need to do is spend the extra money for what is called fully managed WordPress hosting. This means everything is handled for you. It's completely hands-off. And I recommend either WP Engine, which is $29 a month, or our service at Big West Marketing here, we have a hosting service that's $14 a month. Both of these services will handle all the maintenance for you. Both have load speeds that are 5 to 10 times faster than the cheap companies. And the load speed is crucial for both user experience and for SEO. Think about it. If it takes 7 seconds or 10 seconds for your site to load, then that visitor is gone. And consider SEO because Google also uses load speed as one of its many ranking factors. So very important to have quality hosting. And also with our hosting service, we also will load up WordPress, Genesis, Dynamic. We'll do that all for you at no extra charge, saving you up to $140 up front. So it really is the best deal around. But enough of my sales pitch. The next tool you'll need is a good digital camera for all those personalized pics we discussed in the trust section. It doesn't have to be too professional, it just needs to have some good lighting. And you know, the new cell phone cameras out there are every bit as good as the fancy digital cameras for both pictures and videos. So if you have like one of the new iPhones or Samsungs, then you are good to go. Now, if you do need some stock photos as kind of placeholders until you have your own personal pics, then I recommend using bigstock.com for both selection and price. And remember before when we were talking about unique content for your website, like unique text or words, most business owners will not write their own content. So what you can do if you don't want to write your own, I do recommend you write your own, simple little message from the owner that we talked about. But as far as all the other content that we want to have unique for SEO reasons, what you can do is head over to textbroker.com. And then you use this tool to hire a freelance writer. It's about $10 to $20 per page, depending on the number of words and the quality that you're looking for. And then even after you do that, I recommend you tweak the content to make it a little more personal to fit your system or your style, your website. So we've discussed all the essential tools. Now let's talk about a few optional tools. First, we have Google Analytics. So to truly understand your traffic, where it comes from, what people are doing on your website, you need Google Analytics. It's free. All you need to do is make sure that you are signed in to your Gmail account, and then you just go to analytics.google.com and you sign up. They will then give you some code, a little piece of code that needs to be pasted in the head section of your website. On the Genesis framework, it's located under Theme Options. All other platforms will vary. It's best to consult your web designer if you're unsure, or consult the people that support your specific platform. All right, just look for the head section so you can paste that code in there. Now, another free Google product or Google tool is called the Search Console. It's formerly named the Google Webmaster Tools, but this program it's helpful because it'll let you know if you have any problems or errors with your website. It's especially important for if you have an older domain that you've had more than one web design installed on over the years. The setup is the same as Analytics. You just log into Gmail, do a search for the Google Search Console, you sign up for free, and then you paste the code into the head section like we just discussed. Okay? And the next tool that I really like is for ranking reports. Okay? I use this for all of my websites and all of my SEO clients. It's called brightlocal.com, and for around $20 a month, you can see the rankings of up to 50 keywords on any given day. It's great for keeping track of your SEO progress over time. The last two tools I want to mention are WordPress plugins. And as we discussed in the usability section, you may want to have a contact form on your website in case a visitor prefers to communicate that way. Well, WordPress doesn't come loaded with any kind of form, so I recommend installing a free, easy-to-use form plugin called a Contact Form 7. So that's the first plugin I want to discuss. The second one is for your testimonials page. Remember I talked about you need to have a testimonials page on your website? Well, if you install a free plugin called WordPress Customer Reviews, it'll make your testimonials page look nice. It'll put like stars. It'll also give you the ability for visitors or past customers to leave reviews on their own. So it's just really nice. It just makes that testimonial page nice looking and easier to use. Now, to install and activate these WordPress plugins, it's a whole nother section. So I recommend watching some tutorials on YouTube. There's all kinds of stuff on how to do this. And that's how you'll learn the ropes, just by watching some videos. Okay, guys, so that's it. That's everything that we do to get the highest conversions possible for any kind of cleaning or restoration website. I know it's a lot of information to take in all at once. You might be feeling a little frustrated, confused, overwhelmed, but you just start with one strategy and then start implementing from there. Most of this really should not be very hard, as long as you take a few minutes to really understand the why and not the just what. If you do this, like I said, you will have a huge advantage. Now, I'd like to make a special offer to you. You see, most carpet cleaners or restoration companies, they are on an island with no real strategy when it comes to internet marketing. So if you want to get from point A to point B, which means getting the right customers with the right message, then you need a partner that understands this side of the business, and that's where we come in. Our primary business is working specifically with cleaning and restoration companies, so we know the industry. Like I said, I owned a carpet cleaning business, so I understand what people go through. I understand the ups and the downs. And if you need help, we're just a phone call away. We offer a free one-on-one consultation that typically lasts about 30 minutes. And normally we would charge $97 for this, but since you sat through the video, we're going to go ahead and give this to you for free. And I know since you watched this video that you're also serious, and that you kind of get it. You're not just looking for a quick buck, you're looking to actually improve your business, and I respect that. So you can just click on the button below and send in the form, and we can set something up, or you can just call. Give us a call and we'll set something up. And that's not all. In addition to the free one-on-one, I'd also like to give you a $100 credit to any website package or SEO program that we offer. Now, speaking of SEO, we don't take on just anybody. We're a little bit picky about who we work with. Like I said, no bait and switch companies, no get-rich-quick schemes here. We want hard workers that understand the big picture, understand this is a long-term investment. We want people that understand that they're looking to invest in a long-term strategy to get a steady flow of new clients. Okay? And with SEO, we also work with one person per city or per service area, so that is very limited. But give us a call, we can talk about it. If this all sounds good, let's talk. Like I said, just fill out the form below. Give us a call at 406-493-1881. I'm Joe Burnich with carpetcleaningwebsites.net, Big West Marketing, and I look forward to speaking with you.